If you've been wanting to start a small business from home but feel like you need some huge budget or some big, perfect master plan before you begin, then take this as your sign that you absolutely don't. Because every day, real people are starting real, legitimate businesses for under $100. So in this video, I'm going to share 7 small business ideas that you can get started with from home for under $100. And these are flexible and low risk, as well as designed to grow with you, whether you decide to keep it more of a side hustle or part-time or want to make it full-time. Hi, my name is Sterling and I'm the artist and owner here behind Cactus Lady Creation, and each week I share my insights from running my small art business as well as my research here with you, because I don't believe in gatekeeping and I definitely don't believe in being starving artists in this day and age. And I also don't want to just throw ideas out there at you all. Each of these are business ideas that have actually worked for me personally, or I know they've worked for someone else. And so I have seen these work and I know that they work. And the first type of business that we're going to start with is one of my personal favorites. And this is because it's lowest in cost and easiest to scale, as well as one of the highest margin businesses that you can start. And it is a digital product-based business. A digital product is something that you only have to create once, and then you can sell it infinitely after that. And there's no inventory or shipping, and you don't have to worry about storing it either. And once you create it, you can just generate income with it literally while you sleep. And some examples are printable planners, budget spreadsheets, Notion templates, patterns, journaling guides, business checklists, and art prints. And the key with digital products is to think about what kind of problem you are solving. So instead of creating a generic weekly planner, you can create weekly planners for night shift nurses or meal planners for people who are learning to cook. And you can design your product using tools like Canva or Kindle, and you can use many of the tools and features on these different programs for free. And then you can sell it on Etsy or your Shopify store, Gumroad, or another kind of website. And another advantage of digital products is that they're easy to scale. You can bundle them, you can create updated versions, you can turn it into a mini course, and you can even offer a subscription library. And if you want to see some other ideas for specific types of digital products to make, check out my video, 7 digital products that bring in passive income, after this one. Something that I wish I knew earlier when I was getting started with my business is that starting it is one part of the equation, and the other half is actually building and keeping your audience. You can have the best products or services in the world, but if you're relying on just social media to reach people, your foundation is not solid. And so this is why having an email list is really crucial when you're starting your small business, because unlike social platforms, you actually own it. You're not at the mercy of algorithm shifts or reach drops or platforms deciding to change direction spontaneously. And a really solid platform to manage both email and SMS marketing is the sponsor of this video, which is OmniSend. I recently created an email campaign using OmniSend, and I was able to sync it directly to my Shopify website using the app, and the integration was really seamless and my products automatically pulled in. And then I was able to segment my audience and even schedule the email without any complicated steps. And what I really appreciated was being able to see the data clearly, such as the open rates and the click rates, as well as all of the stats that are just tied to a campaign, and some of the different automations that you can set up for your emails, which is really great when you want to upsell or share new product releases with your clients and customers. So if you're getting serious about your small business and you want to build your email list and use a system that actually allows you to grow it, then definitely check out OmniSend, and I'll leave the link in the description box below, as well as have the QR code here on the screen if you want to try it out for yourself. And thank you, OmniSend, for sponsoring this video. If you're a creative and you already have a skill, you can also start a service-based business. And this is one of the fastest to grow as well as lowest cost businesses that you can create, because you don't need inventory or packaging, and you also don't need to buy materials in bulk. And the key with this is to think about how you can sell a result that's based on something that you actually already know how to do. So some examples of service-based creative businesses could be brand design and development for other small businesses, or product photography, website setup, Etsy shop optimization, crochet or knitting pattern testing and grading if you're a fellow crocheter or knitter, email marketing setup, and even Pinterest management. And in order to start this business, you do need some tools that I'm hoping and assuming that you already have or have access to if you're currently watching this video, and they are a laptop or phone and internet connection. And then depending on what kind of skill you already have, you should also have the tools that you need for that. So for example, if you're a crocheter and will be testing and grading patterns, I'm assuming that you have the tools to be able to do that because you already crochet. Some additional optional costs that you might also need are a domain name for a simple portfolio to show prospective clients, Canva Pro, Adobe Creative Suite, or another paid graphic design platform, and or a basic website. But even before you get started with a basic website, you can just use a Google Drive as your portfolio to get started. And then instead of pitching your services by selling your time, you can sell the outcome that you will get for your clients. So for example, instead of saying, I'll manage your Pinterest for $20 an hour, you could say, I will optimize your Pinterest for $20 an hour. And then because your overhead is nearly zero, your margins will be high from the very beginning. So if you charge $500 for an Etsy optimization package, for example, the only investment for this is your time instead of a lot of materials. And then you can operate with very little financial risk. Another reason that this kind of business works is because it's really scalable. As you grow, you can easily increase your rates, create tiered service packages, and even turn your process into a digital product. You can build an agency, and you can even offer retainers for your most dedicated customers. Another type of business to start, and this one is one of the fastest growing online business models right now, is UGC content. UGC stands for user generated content, and because brands constantly need short form video content for ads and product demos and tutorials and social media, this one is really in high demand. When I was actually first getting serious about creating content about 5 years ago, I started off with doing UGC content, and that's because you don't need a huge following. UGC content creators are not influencers, so you're not being paid to monetize your audience. You're being paid by other businesses to create content for their brands that they can use on their platforms for ads. And it's also really easy to get started with for under $100. As long as you have a smartphone that has good camera, some natural lighting such as a window, and editing apps such as CapCut, and a good internet access, you're ready to go. And some investments that would be worth making if you don't already have them are a small tripod, basic ring light, $10 to $20 a month in video editing software, and a sample product that you could create some sample UGC content with. And some examples of content that you would make are product demos, unboxing videos, testimonials, problem solution style ads, and lifestyle clips. And then you can pitch them to brands directly or apply to UGC platforms. And there are so many out there these days. Some of the top performing ones are Trend.io, Billo, Incense, Join Brands, Vidovo, Coley, Social Cat, and funnily enough, even Backstage these days. Small e-commerce brands are especially open to this because they need a lot of fresh content consistently. A beginner UGC creator might charge as little as $50 per video to $300 per video, and then more experienced creators can charge significantly more, especially if usage rights are included. And because your startup costs are quite low, your profit margin is pretty high from the beginning. And then if you invest in a tripod or video editing app, you can easily recoup those funds with 1 to 2 brand deals. And if you really want to be strategic with this, it's really great to pick a niche such as beauty and skincare, travel, home organization, fitness, or small business tools. And when you niche down, it makes it easier for brands to hire you because they can see that you already align with and know their audience. UGC content is also really scalable because you can also increase your rates over time. You can offer bundles, you can turn it into a content agency even, and you can eventually consult on marketing strategies. If you understand how social media works, this is one of the most accessible businesses that you can start from home. Small businesses that are using social media to leverage growth need to post consistently, but many of them don't either have the time or understand strategy. And so that is where the gap comes in, my friend. This type of business can easily be started for under $100 because you likely already have what you need, which is a laptop, phone, internet, and familiarity with platforms like Meta, so Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube. And some optional costs are Canva Pro for content design, a simple scheduling tool like Later or Sprout Social, and a domain name for a portfolio site. And then you want to think about how can you position yourself as having performance-based strategy and not just someone who posts. You can offer services like content planning, caption writing, hashtag and SEO research, community management, Pinterest optimization, short form video scripting, and even analytics reporting if you're knowledgeable about that. Beginner social media managers charge about $300 to $1,000 a month, will generally post on 1 to 2 platforms, include basic posting and simple engagement. And then social media managers with a bit more experience can charge about $3,000 to $10,000 a month, post on about 3 to 5 or more platforms, include custom strategy, paid ads, and in-depth reporting. So if you get a couple of clients, you could easily begin generating consistent recurring income with this business type. And because your overhead is low, most of the revenue would be profit, which is great. And if you want to really be strategic with this one, it's really good to niche down and think about who do you want to specifically serve. So for example, handmade product brands, coaches and course creators, local service businesses, or e-commerce shops. And once you understand one type of business deeply, you'll have so much more thorough insight on understanding the audience and messaging for those types of businesses. And this kind of social media management business is super scalable because you can raise your rates, you can offer tiered packages, you can add email marketing and upsell, and even build a small agency and turn your process into a course over time. Now with this one, it takes a bit longer to build. So if you're willing to be patient and consistent, starting a niche blog or YouTube channel is a really low cost business idea, and you can build it with long-term reward. And this one can realistically start for under $100 because you just need a basic smartphone or camera, laptop, and internet. And then YouTube you can start for free, and you can also start a blog using a low-cost hosting and domain site. So your only upfront costs might include a domain name, basic website hosting, a simple microphone, and a basic ring light or great sunlight. If you have that in your space, that would be completely free. And then with this, you just need to niche down as well. So for example, you can choose budgeting for creatives or beginner crochet tutorials, sustainability living for apartment dwellers, or fitness for busy working professionals. Then there are multiple revenue streams that you can build out once you build traction with this type of business, like ad revenue, affiliate marketing, brand sponsorships, and eventually you can also sell digital products like we talked about earlier, as well as courses and memberships. And this kind of model does take a bit longer to generate income compared to like a service-based business, but the upside is the content compounds. So a video that you publish today can generate views and revenue for years and years to come. So if you're a creative who enjoys teaching, researching, and organizing ideas, or are comfortable being visible and want to scale your income, then this is a really great business model to explore. Also with a blog and YouTube, you use SEO or search engine optimization to generate views. And YouTube is still the second most used search engine platform in the world at the time of this video. So if your blog ranks really high in Google search, if it has the right keywords, will also drive traffic to your website over time. I know blogging is one of the things that I'm really grateful that I incorporated into my business, because each time I make a YouTube video, I also will make a blog post with it. So this generates ad dollars because I'll put Google ads on that blog, which doesn't cost you, the viewer, anything, but it means that I have another steady stream of income. So if you're ready to stay consistent with it and love writing or getting on camera and talking, then I definitely say to try YouTube or having a blog or both. If you also have a skill or knowledge base, you can easily turn it into recurring income through a subscription-based membership business. So this is a pretty stable business model because instead of chasing one-time sales, you can build predictable monthly revenue once you build a following of dedicated clients. And a lot of membership-based platforms are free to start, but then will charge a portion of profits once you begin earning. Some examples of what you could offer are a monthly crafting club, content strategy membership for small business owners, accountability group for entrepreneurs, digital art prompt community, fitness programming for beginners, or even budgeting systems for freelancers. And the key with these is to offer ongoing value so that your members will find subscribing to you to be worth it. So you want to offer exclusive tutorials or trainings, monthly resources, templates or downloads, live calls, community access, or even early access to product offerings. And this type of business also pairs really well to content creation because if you have a YouTube channel or a blog, that will drive traffic to your membership. So this type of business is really ideal if you love teaching or mentoring, can produce consistent content, and want recurring revenue instead of just one-off purchases. Now, if you have a strong eye for aesthetics and trends and thrifting, then reselling curated items is one of the simplest product-based businesses that you can start without having to manufacture or make anything yourself. And this one, out of all of the ideas that I've shared in this video, is the easiest to get over that $100 mark. So to keep it under there, here are some things that we can do. We can begin by narrowing down your niche. So maybe you sell vintage clothing and accessories in a specific style like boho or Y2K, or maybe you find antique home decor in a specific style like 90s minimalist office decor, or maybe you specialize in a specific style of vintage art or books. Then you can start with thrifting about 5 to 10 high quality pieces in that niche and keep them under $100. So you want to start small and test demand. Your main costs will be initial inventory, platform selling fees, and basic packaging supplies. And I would definitely keep the weights low on the items that you're selling in order to keep shipping costs down. Then you can list on platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Depop, or Etsy, or even your own shop. And profit margins will depend on your sourcing skill. So with this business, it's great to have a really great eye. And this model is ideal for creatives who love thrifting, understand aesthetic trends, and enjoy photography and styling. And just like any other product-based business, it's great to have an email list early so you can announce new drops and offer early access and deals to your loyal customers, as well as build anticipation and encourage repeat buyers. So there's 7 small business ideas that you can start from home for under $100. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know in the comments below which one of these ideas was your favorite, or which one have you had luck with. Let's trade tips and suggestions in the comments below and keep this space an uplifting one where we can all learn from one another. Also, make sure to subscribe and join me each week for more videos like this, and definitely check out some of the freebies that I have in the description box below, including the handmade product clarity workbook, which is a 10-page guide on how to get clear on your offer and test demand before launching your product line. I also put the social media marketing 101 checklist for creatives, and you can check out those below as a thank you for watching until the end. Also, see the Entrepreneur playlist next for more videos like this. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the next one.